All right. Justin's official mock draft 1.0.
All right.
Because the one we did that isn't out is now completely shot because the Panthers traded up. All right, Panthers, I'll go just 1 through 10, and then we'll just talk about 1 through 10 quickly and then so on.
All
right. Panthers take C.J. Stroud at 1. Bryce Young goes to the Texans. Will Anderson goes to the Cardinals at 3. This is no trades, by the way. Colts get Anthony Richardson at 4. Even with the legal issues, I think Jalen Carter can still go top 5, so I got the Seahawks taking him. Lions take Christian Gonzalez. Raiders take Will Levis. Falcons take Tyree Wilson. Bears take Paris Johnson Jr. And Eagles to round the top 10. I decided to have fun, Bijan Robinson. I think that's the highest he goes. I think he can fall all the way to 26 or 27 because he's a running back, obviously, but why not? You have 2 first-round picks as the Eagles. You just were in the Super Bowl. Go get the best player available, and that's Bijan. So,
I think Bryce Young should be the first quarterback off the board. That's just me personally.
You're wrong. It's okay, though.
I like CJ more, but I don't disagree with that thinking. But I think this is more of what I think is going to happen. This is not ever a fully what I would do. Sometimes it will be, but I think they're going to take CJ, and I think the Texans take Bryce.
I can't wait till this motherfucker's wrong. He's been wrong before. It's just it hasn't been so drastic yet. I can't wait till you're wrong.
I've been on a hot streak though. You can't.
And you're gonna live it down this fucking hot streak.
That's why my confidence is so high.
I just gotta go watch all the episodes now.
Especially when the Giants were on that winning streak.
That was a horrible time.
Arizona, I think best player available with Will Anderson. Well, depending on who you like between him and Jalen. With the Seahawks, though, I batted around the idea of them not taking Jalen Carter and him falling further. Jalen doesn't fall farther than 10, though. I would love if he fell to 13. You put him next to Quinnen Williams, that'd be fucking amazing. But he's not falling past the Eagles because why the fuck would the Eagles not take him? And Paris Johnson to the Bears, I would love for him to fall to 13 also, but Chicago needs line help. Go get Justin Fields, his old teammate from Ohio State. 11 through 20, Titans, Peter Skoronski, tackle from Northwestern. Texans, Quentin Johnson. Jets, Broderick Jones, who's a tackle from Georgia. Patriots, I would fucking hate this if it actually happened, but I think it could. Devon Witherspoon from Illinois is a corner. He would be a fucking dog under Bill Belichick. Packers, Lucas Van Ness, an edge rusher from Iowa. Washington, I got them taking Joey Porter Jr. Jordan Addison going to Pittsburgh. Darnell Washington, the tight end from Georgia, going to Detroit. They shore up that offense some more. Nolan Smith, the combine warrior, going to Tampa. And at number 20, Jackson Smith and Jigba going to the Seahawks.
Real quick, cut this off. Subscribe if you are watching this on YouTube. And if you want to see Justin go more in depth in any of these picks,
I will gladly do that one over.
Just leave a comment and he'll definitely do it.
What do you think?
Of everything that has happened there? Yeah. Not the Chargers. So
Chargers aren't there. They're next. Jackson Smith is not falling to you guys. Nolan Smith isn't either. I don't think any of our favorite teams. Well, mine. All right, Broderick Jones. There's a big 3 of tackles, I think, in this draft, and it's Paris Johnson, Peter Skoronski, and Broderick Jones. I'll be fine with any of the 3. Mm-hmm. They all have things to like about them. They all have things that you could worry about. Mm-hmm. I think Devon Witherspoon in New England system could be one of the best corners in the NFL. Quentin Johnson isn't my wide receiver 1. I just think what's going to happen is just height and speed is going to win out like it always does. You saw last year Drake London was the first wide receiver taken, and I'm pretty sure a big part of it was you got the lengthy guy that can win the jump balls. It's not that bad.
The Patriots are going to trade back and draft destroying with their first overall pick.
I do think there's a lot of trade back options here, too. I think the Jets could trade down. I think the Patriots could trade down. I think the only way the Jets move pick 13 is if they swap with Green Bay and move down 2 spots. Jordan Addison, you reunite him and Kenny Pickett. That's actually been one of my... I feel like that's one that can really happen that a lot of people aren't thinking about. Darnell Washington, the Lions need a tight end, and I think that could be a great fit for them. And on to 21 through 31, starting with the Chargers.
Yes, sir.
I got you guys taking DeJuan Jones, right tackle from Ohio State. We'll come back to you. Cam Smith, 22nd to the Ravens, corner from South Carolina. Brian Branch. I don't know if Brian Branch actually falls this far, but I got him going 23 to the Vikings, safety from Alabama. Dalton Kincaid, who a lot of people are really falling in love with throughout the draft process, to the Jags. He's a tight end from Utah. You pair him with Ingram for a year, you can possibly just let Ingram walk, and that's the replacement. Giants at 25, I got you guys taking Osiris Torrance, who's a guard from Florida. Shore up that offensive line. Cowboys, Brian Bresee, defensive tackle from Clemson. Bills, Anton Harrison, a tackle from Oklahoma. Bengals, Miles Murphy, who's an edge rusher from Clemson. Saints, you're going to like this. Again, had fun. Zay Flowers.
That'll be tough.
Wide receiver, Boston College. Eagles, I got them
he's
taking.
Kind of nice.
He is nice.
Zay Flowers is nice.
He's nice.
Khaled G. Cansey, the guy that had the really good combine from Pittsburgh that everyone's comparing to Donald. I think that makes a lot of sense for Philly. And to round out the first round, B.J. Ojolari, who's an edge rusher from LSU, going to the Chiefs.
He's Ojolari's little brother.
That is true.
Legend. Shout out.
So we just
We'll start with you.
We paid Trey Pipkins. He was one of our offensive line products from Sioux Falls.
Mm-hmm.
He was terrible his first few years, but then started picking up towards the end, and he looked really good when he wasn't hurt. That's the only, like, if they really believe in Trey Pipkins, drafting a guy after giving him a very cheap, affordable contract, drafting a guy to take a
Can
spot.
Trey play inside?
Probably, but do I want him to? No.
Do you know who DeJuan Jones is?
No, not at all.
He's 6'8".
Height over heart, or heart over height, whatever.
He's he's a massive fucking human being. Because I think you guys could take a receiver. I don't know if Hyatt goes in the first round anymore. Because of,
I mean,
I thought he was going to run a 4.2. He ran a 4.4. Again, that's not the be all end all, but I thought that was someone who the 40 could really help.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, receivers definitely in play for you guys too.
Steve Smith likes Hyatt, and Steve Smith Senior hasn't been wrong that often.
He seems to know his receivers.
If we could just trade back and get Hyatt, then that'll be fine.
I think Hyatt could be in play at 21. It really just depends, and that'd be a great fit. I think I just figured with JSN, Jordan Addison, and Quentin Johnson all gone, it could be shore up that offensive line, protect your eventual $300 million quarterback, most likely. I don't know the exact price you guys pay him eventually, but
for me,
around there.
It would go wide receiver, D tackle, then O line would be like the last thing for me. But hey,
that puts Brian Bresee in play for you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Was once a highly touted recruit, but defensive tackle, positional value. How do you feel about Osiris Torrance?
Guard.
I feel like that shores up your line.
I like it. I think the Giants free agency with all their 1 and 2 year deals with a bunch of different positions made it to where they could just get best player available. So if he's
that's why I don't know if you would argue best player available, but I feel like just need and makes sense too.
Yeah, they lost Nick Gates and Feliciano. They got Bredesen and Glowinski. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that.
How about you and Zay Flowers? Again, I didn't know where to pick here because of how the board fell, and I was like, you know what? Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, and Zay Flowers. That's kind of fun.
We also have Raheem Shaheed as well. He's solid.
Michael Thomas still in the league?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
He is. He's actually really excited to play with Derek Carr. I'd like that. It gives us depth.
Yeah, it
wide
does.
receiver
I feel like
room, so-
wide receiver could be a
He's
sneaky
not
need
a
for you
depth piece,
guys.
so he's a starting piece.
That'd be your slot
Facts.
guy. That's what I'm saying. Like you
Yeah.
have Olave and
Chargers
Thomas.
It's tough though, because Raheed was so good
Flowers
last
is a good
year.
fit for you guys too. I don't know if Zay. I know I have him, but I don't know if Zay goes in the first.
Zay
Tell me-
Flowers?
Yeah, that
He goes in
sometimes
the first, I think.
height.
And then talks with the Giants too.
He is
Yeah.
talking to the Giants. Sometimes
I
just
wouldn't be mad at that.
having the
I wouldn't be
height.
mad at that.
Like what is he like 5'9"? Slot receiver.
I'd
Sometimes
rather
they
him
don't.
go to
They
the
don't always
Giants.
go first.
I don't think the Giants are going to get him because they have a lot of slot guys right now.
He was gonna
I'd
draft,
rather you
and I
guys
watched
get
his
him,
highlights,
and then
he
we get a
looks-
defensive
His
tackle.
highlights look good.
He's good. No,
Like,
he is
just
good.
looks fucking solid. So
Well, everyone's comparing him to AB. Reminds me a little bit of Elijah Moore. They play very similar, and Elijah fell to the second round when everyone thought he was going to go first. So I
Zay
think it's going to be
Flowers,
similar to that.
if he falls to the second round, whoever gets him in the second round is going to.
Oh no, you're getting a good player.
yeah,
But a lot of good, really good receivers go the second
a
round.
lot. There's mad
That's a fact.
receivers.
That's where the sleepers are at.
Chargers suck in the second round. So.
But yeah, I don't know if Brian Branch really falls to 23 with the Vikings. Anton Harrison's a guy that I can see going higher or even lower depending on tackled needs and who likes who or whatever. Miles Murphy, edge rush from Clemson, who I had going to Cincy. At one point, like you can go back 3 months ago, this guy was being mocked in the top 7, top 5 even. Like, it was Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, the quarterbacks, and then he was usually number 5. So I think even on this draft simulator I used, he was the number 5 prospect to them. So I don't know where he's going to go. He's a freakish athlete. A lot of people like him. Some people don't like him. Like Tyree Wilson, from Texas Tech, who I've going to the Falcons, kind of overtook, I think, being that freakish athlete edge that, wow, he may even compete with Will Anderson. Because there's even people out there that think Tyree Wilson can go 3rd overall. I don't think so, and I wouldn't do that. I think if you want to talk about legal issues with Jalen, then I would take Will Anderson. I still think Jalen Carter might be the best full prospect, but you don't have the baggage with Will.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. Everything's allegedly.
Shout out to Asante Samuel Jr. But, all right.
Why?
Because I said the Chargers haven't drafted anyone good the second round.
Oh, yeah, they did draft him. That is true.
Why?
That is true. Shout out to Asante, bro.
All right.
Shout out to Sauce Gardner, too. Best corner in the league.
All right, yeah.
Since we're shouting,
Asante's coming for that spot.
since we're shouting people, shout out to Alante Taylor too.
Okay.
Shout out to Ruben. Shout out to Ruben Randall, man.
There it is. Anyone you want to shout out, Corey?
Shout out to Ruben Randall. Shout out to Ruben Randall, man. Good guy.
We don't have much time for this, but
Shout out OBJ, future Jet.
I took some heat
Shout out
last
Mario
time,
Manningham.
and I wasn't ready for the conversation.
Super Bowl legend.
Now I am ready.
Legend.
You guys are calling.
Hold on, time out. Trivia. Who was the last team before the Panthers to trade up for the 1st overall pick?
Colts.
No.
Wait,
Don't
wait,
go
wait,
naming
wait.
all 32 teams.
Wait,
though.
what year is it? What year is it? What year
It was
is
2016.
Shit.
Hans, repeat that question. I was kind of blacked out.
Last
Rams?
team. Yeah, it's the Rams. It was the last team to trade up for the 1st
The
overall
Rams?
pick.
Who'd they get?
Golf.
Jared Goff. You should know that, Billy.
That's my boy.